Alright, so I am back with another news reading version of Strike Force, and the recent hot topic of this last week has been weed, so that is what we're going to talk about today. Apparently, the Trump administration, more specifically Jeff Sessions, is cracking down on weed that has been legalized in some certain states, unfortunately. What Attorney General Sessions is trying to overturn is a little something called the Cole Memo, which basically ordered U.S. attorneys in states where marijuana has been legalized to deprioritize prosecution of marijuana-related cases. Now, this is the good side of Jeff Sessions' actions. I mean, I'm all for weed legalization, but at the same time, I am against the idea of President Obama or any other presidency interfering in state powers to handle weed however that they freaking want to. But Attorney Sessions is not in the right here as well, because he is trying to put forward the effort of overturning an amendment in the department's budget that blocks the Justice Department from using federal money to prevent states from implementing their own laws that have basically legalized marijuana. So he at the same time is trying to overturn state powers against weed, while Obama in the past was overturning state powers for weed. I mean, it goes both ways. No, there is nobody in the right regarding the Obama administration versus the Trump administration. Now, I would hate for there to be an eternal fight for the next 3 years during the Trump's first term between the federal government and state governments that have legalized weed over such a petty issue like this. I mean, why even bother with it, Trump administration, when the legalization of weed has obviously been an economic boom for the states that have legalized it? Fortunately, though, for us libertarians and those liberals out there, his actions are not going unchallenged. Even Republicans are fighting alongside Democrats against Jeff Sessions' anti-weed crusade, albeit more from a pro-state powers position than an actual pro-weed position, but still the same end goal, so cool. Among them are a Republican representative from Colorado named Mike Kaufman, who suggested that Sessions needs to read the Constitution's Commerce Clause. He says Colorado had every right to legalize marijuana, and I will do everything I can to protect that right against the power of an overreaching federal government. So, good on him. Apparently, before Jeff Sessions had got sworn in for Attorney General, he had told everyone that he wasn't going to focus on weed legalization in states. And people like Cory Gardner, Republican senator from Colorado, is very disappointed as to what Attorney General Sessions had told him beforehand, but now he's backpedaling on that. And in fact, by that extension, people could wonder if Donald Trump is being a hypocrite as well, for the fact that during his campaign he was all pro-state powers and indifferent on weed, but now apparently he's against it in this circumstance. A Republican representative from California named Dana Rohrabacher, who was one of the co-authors of the amendment to prevent the Justice Department from accumulating federal funds to overturn states' powers to legalize medical marijuana, is shredding Sessions for his actions, saying that making weed illegal would give the drug cartels a big advantage in the industry. My oh my, looking back on Superwoman, she's really starting to make sense, isn't she?
And some people will also argue that either way people will illegally access guns, so there's no point of making them illegal. True that, true that. That must mean weed is legal. Oh, no!
Continuing her shredding, Rohrabacher also says that it's ironic that the Attorney General has long championed states' rights when it suits other parts of his agenda, and by that extension she also says by taking this benighted minority position, he actually jeopardizes the electoral fortunes of Republicans. You also add on top of that of the fact that Republicans have not delivered on health care for the longest time to its voters, nor even on immigration, the staple issue of Trump's campaign. And as the Hill here shows to back up that claim, nearly 2/3 of Americans support legalizing marijuana, including 51% of Republicans. So yeah, good work, Mr. Sessions. But some more good news for all the stoners and pro-liberty minded guys out there. Apparently Oklahoma is making a move on legalizing medical marijuana, with Governor Mary Fallin, a Republican, taking the lead on that. And if this were passed, it would still give Oklahoma cities and counties and other localities the power to deal with weed as they want to. It looks like more and more that Republicans, the average Joes, the legislatures, the governors, and the people more lower down in the Republican Party are being more and more pro-weed. But the people more higher up, they apparently are still either indifferent on it or they're just flat out against it. So, come on, Jeffrey, time to get with the times. Otherwise, you're going to pretty much sink the Republican Party.